All right, let's move to the headlines now and see what the papers in Nigeria are saying this morning. And I have joining me in the studio to do justice to this, I have Okena Nebedum, a lawyer and a public affairs analyst with me in the studio, as well as public affairs analyst Razak Olokoba. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice
And good morning, viewers.
All right, let's begin with the Vanguard newspaper this morning. On insecurity, Afenifere Ohaneze Pandef, others tackle Buhari. And Nigeria needs retooling to tackle insecurity. Afenifere is saying that. And PDP chides Buhari over rising insecurity. Pandef raises alarm or expresses alarm. Okay. Keep off Igbo land. Ohaneze warns killer herdsmen as Buhari orders security agencies to end cultism in rivers. In politicians, royal fathers aiding bandits in the north, says defense minister. This is really a source of concern. All right, moving out from Vanguard, let's go to the Nigerian Pilot. Let's see what the pilot is saying. Senate approves 2019 expenditure framework and retains oil production at 2.3 million barrels per day and crude oil benchmark set at $60 per barrel. And exchange rate remains at 305 naira to a dollar. And budget deficit reduced from 1.86 trillion naira to 1.64 trillion naira. Absence of appropriation committee's report delays budget passage. From Nigerian Pilot, let's move to the blueprint. The blueprint is saying federal government says highly placed monarchs behind killings. And Zamfara lost 3,596 lives in 8 years. That's by Governor Yari there. And Buhari condemns violence, orders action. And 21 killed in fresh Kaduna attacks. Residents flee. That's what the blueprint is reporting this morning. Let's move now to the New Telegraph. New Telegraph is saying federal government, traditional rulers aiding bandits in Zamfara and others. The governor is saying 3,526 killed, 500 villages destroyed in Zamfara. And some unpatriotic persons, including highly placed traditional rulers in the areas, were identified as helping the bandits with intelligence to perpetrate their nefarious actions or to compromise military operations. That's a quote from the Defense Minister, Brigadier General Mansur Dan Ali, all right, on the state of things in Zamfara State. Moving on now from the New Telegraph, let's go to this day. Federal government spent 731 billion naira to subsidize inflated petrol imports, says World Bank. Okay. Oil sector productivity declined despite healthy prices. Okay. That's what the papers are saying this morning. Gentlemen, what I'd like us to see really is still the security issues that the past few days since Monday has been dominating the headlines across Nigeria, and it really calls for concern. Now, the new twist now is the revelation by the Minister of Defense that traditional rulers and politicians are actually behind some of the bandits and insecurity in part of the north, especially the ones in Zamfara. I'd like to start with you, Olokoba, on this.
Well, that accusation is heavy. And it calls for concern. Traditional rulers are supposed to be working hand in hand with the security agents. And if you look at us calling for state police, what is the backbone of state police? They are traditional rulers, because state police will work hand in hand with the local and indigenous people. And the head of the indigenous people are the traditional rulers. So if this type of accusation is coming from the military, it's peculiar and it's not a good thing. For a high-ranking security personnel to say that kind of thing, that means they have
intelligence
report that is credible.
And that calls for concern,
now,
serious concern.
Our call as Nigerians is that there should be consequence for all these things. There were situations in the past where senators were accused to be abhorring member of Boko Haram. The case is not heard of again. So if you have consequences of people who aid and abet, if it is death penalty, just
let us
give
know.
It to them. If it is going to serve a jail time, if it is to derobe the traditional law, let us know. Or that it will send a message to other people that Buhari
it's not business as usual.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now let me come to you on this. Now, the other side of this is that if the Chief of Defense Staff or Minister of Defense or government or any high-ranking, even if it's the police, that comes out to say that from intelligence, some persons that we have intelligence are behind this, why would the authorities say that instead of going out against the person, making arrests and so on, and taking the right course of the law?
You just said it correctly, because we have always been meted out with excuses. If one is on the top of his game as a chief of army staff, as a chief intelligence officer, or a minister for defense, you call the shots. There are some information, intelligence information available to you that is not available to the public. What do you make of it? Do you make headlines of it, or do you make solutions of it? Rather than make headlines of it every morning, at every given time when we are faced with challenges like this, that it is killer herdsmen, or that they are not armed, or they are armed, and now they are armless traditional rulers. Like he said, if you are going to mete out punishments to them, because some of them attain their positions through religious or traditional rights, but they are subject to the government of the day. They are not lords unto themselves. They are not islands. They are not greater than the state. The state should be able to exert itself.
But is it clear, is it becoming clear one way or the other that the government may not be in the position to move against these people?
One would have expected the government to shift their security apparatus, to tilt with it, make some readjustments, sack some people, put in some fresh eggheads. If someone is newly appointed, he comes with fresh ideas. These people have long overstayed their welcome.
So have they exhausted all the ideas
they have exhausted all the ideas. So we need to inject new ways of thinking.
All right. Razak, how do we handle this really in true terms if we have to take on it?
I think what the government is trying to do is to gauge the mood of the nation, because the height at which that accusation is coming from is heavy, and it might also spur another round of violence if it's not handled carefully. That's why they want to know, and that's what you are saying now, that the government has our backing, that I can go ahead. If the mood says that, how can that be? That's not possible. They will tell you softly. But if they have encouragement and support of Nigerian people that no matter who the person is, just go after him. The numbers we are seeing is huge. It's as if it's a joke. 3,526. That's a neighborhood. It's a neighborhood for a country with a moderate population. That's very, very huge. If you look at Lagos now, it's twice the population of Israel. So if you take 3,536, 26 from Israel as a nation, that's huge.
That's a huge number.
So it is sad.
All right.
And I want to encourage President Buhari. This is the second time. He's not looking at any election again, that he will moderate the step he's trying to take.
He actually made a statement that
he should go after.
It's going to be hard times going
hard
forward.
Times, but this kind of thing, it is not longer a battlefield now. It's a court scenario now. Go after them, send them to jail, let them face the firing squad if need be.
Firing squad?
Yes, if need be. If that is that's what the law says.
But certainly a lot of people...
If that's what the law says.
Okay.
Because there should be consequence. If there's no consequence,
all right, Razak,
people will keep doing it.
Razak, we have to leave you here now. Razak Olukoba, thank you very much for coming. And Okenan Abedum, thank you very much as well.
My pleasure.
Right.